Hello, everyone, and welcome to Potential Within. Today we have a message from Spirit, and it was interesting. The only thing I got when I was meditating beforehand to see what this was about was this old game that's called "What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf?" And I got the sound of "What time is it, Mr. Wolf?" and then something else like the wolf responding, "It's time for lunch." So it's a really interesting because in that game, one person is the wolf, a bunch of other people are calling out, "What time is it, Mr. Wolf?" And the wolf will say, "It's 3 o'clock," and they take 3 steps, and so on and so forth until the wolf says it's time for lunch, and then everybody has to run, and the wolf tries to catch as many people as they can. So kind of interesting. So let's see what we get from Spirit on what's going on with this. Okay, we got a little too many cards. So Spirit, what is this about? What is this? What time is it, Mr. Wolf, about for the collective that is here for it with us today? What is okay? Okay, interesting. We got it into two piles, and the first pile has the seeker and the arrow and the ancient ones. So this seeker energy is really giving me this energy of the wolf. And I know that all cards have their own meanings and all of that, but for me, when I'm looking at this, it has a little bit of a darkness to it. And it is seeking, it is drawing people's souls' energy towards it. Come here, it's 3 o'clock. Come on over. Come closer is what I'm hearing with this. And its energy is not in the light. It's pulling people into a place of thinking that it's like a game or that it's okay to play in a way, and yet it's drawing people to a place of not exactly knowing what they're getting themselves into. Okay. And the arrow is all about this very distinct, clear direction. Where the arrow goes, energy flows, right? When you release that arrow, it goes in whatever direction you have aimed it at, and it hits its target, or at least it hits where you've aimed at, even if you're slightly off your target, I'm hearing. Okay. And then there's the ancient ones. So there's this protective energy. It's fascinating because it's really feeling like there's this energy that is pulling on us or trying to draw us into something with intention, but yet there is this protective force of these ancient ones. There's joy in this. It's like there's a wisdom in those of us who are aware that we are playing a game, and maybe that those in charge of it, or the oh, I'm seeing conductor, like of an orchestra, the conductor in front of it is maybe not operating with the greatest intent, right? The wolf is ultimately, the goal is to catch us and eat us, right? But we know that if we are focused on, well, it's not even like focused on our energy, but also like purposefully aware that the wolf has an intention, that we can use this energy of wisdom of spirit to essentially protect ourselves from this energy. Okay, and then two other cards that came out with it was the upper world and the luminous warrior. So this is talking about how this game that is being played, we have the ability to rise above it. You know, any kid who's played that's what I'm hearing. Any kid who's played What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf enough times They know how to take smaller steps at the right times so that they are not the ones closest to the wolf. They're intentional in the fact that they know where they're headed, and yet they know that they can almost manipulate the game in a way that allows them to continue to win while others are getting out. Um, the upper world and the luminous warrior, right? This is really giving us that knowing that, if we tap into that intuition, we ourselves can be the luminous warrior. I'm seeing this like this circle is here and it's rising out of them. And this is the luminous warrior is a human, right? He is in his divine force. He is a light being acting as the warrior. It is all of our elements in balance. That warrior energy is our fire, and that luminous energy is our light. It is within our water and our air. It's operating in the place of light. So we don't even have to be scared of the wolf, which is ultimately the goal. The wolf is an illusion. It's just a kid's game. That wolf can chase after you, but the worst they can do is tag you, right? And then maybe you have to go back to the beginning and start again, but you're not actually being hurt or nothing's actually going wrong. And the illusion is the game. It's the fear of being caught almost that spirit is highlighting here. Okay, so what's the purpose of this, spirit? Why are we talking about this right now? What's going on with this energy that you would like to share with collective? It's feeling like there's something in the ethers I'm hearing that is gearing up for the fear. It's gearing up for the game almost. And it's like those who are almost so eager to play or so oblivious to like the bigger picture of the game, they're going to be all in and they're going to be heading towards that wolf without really thinking twice. And that wolf is the fear. That wolf is the intention to catch you and create the Nine of Swords, this trapness in our own minds, right? Everything right now is operating in a place of this illusion us, I don't even know if that's a word, spirit, illusionist fear that doom is coming. And so those of us who buy into it become trapped in the fear of it. And I'm seeing this as that warrior, the ability to balance that fear with the power of spirit, the dark and the light, to move out of this darkness by connecting to the light. It's funny, every time spirit's energy or messages are always dictating or indicating that the answer to everything is always found through our own connection to spirit, through our own ability to sense what's happening beyond the illusion that's being projected at us. We are always safe and secure. And so when we know we are safe and secure while we are feeling fear, we are able to maintain a balanced state, which allows us to be that luminous warrior. They have similar energy in this luminous warrior. And the thing about this luminous warrior is he or she holds a sword. So that sword is the clarity. It doesn't matter what the fear is telling them, right? And it almost doesn't, it's almost, okay. I'm also getting this as like what's showing up in the physical and what he knows in the spiritual, right? It's like the place in between is his clarity or her clarity. And that clarity is what allows you as the driver to keep things in balance. You can't, everything's just all love and light and everything is beautiful and la 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 la, right? It's like that's not real. there is reality to this. We are having a human experience, and in this human experience there are things that can cause a lot of fear, especially right now in life. So it's like we can't pretend it doesn't exist, but at the same time, the acknowledgement of its existence as not the only thing, or of like this all encompassing, right? This is where we get caught in it becoming so all encompassing that we can't even think anymore. We can't think straight for ourselves. We can't hear spirit in this either. It's trying to get through, but we can't hear it because the thoughts are so busy and so dark, right? And so it's about this connecting to the light within and recognizing that both serve us. Fear does not hurt, like, it's not there to harm us. Fear is there to support us as well, right? Everything that we come with is there for us. It's just there is a system in place that uses what we are supposed to have for us to support us to its advantage. And by doing so, it takes some of the power away from us unless we know how to utilize and understand our own fear and power, and how to harness our courage in the face of fear. So they both are existing at the same time. But when we have our courage in the face of fear, we choose the alignment that is best for us. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's very clear. Yes, to really build this very solid foundation, this active in the world solid foundation. It's what we are seeking right now. Safety and security right now doesn't come from within, right? In that game, the only person who really feels good about themselves in it is the one who knows how to play it. The one who knows how to never get caught. Where do they place themselves in the line? How many steps do they always have to take the steps, but how big of those steps and how small? And if you're strategic about it, you can actually beat the wolf, because if you can pass the wolf before they say dinner time, they can't get you. And so that strategy of how big of steps to take and when really can support you if you know the game you're a part of, and you use your wisdom to play it in a way that allows you to maintain and sustain your safety and security. And you do it from the very beginning because you know what you're capable of. And that's a big part of this message right now. There's so much about this idea of this courage and this feeling of like, I hold the power. Doesn't matter how scary it tries to appear to be. I hold the power. I am the decider. I am the creator, but I do so in a place of power where I can acknowledge my fear completely, but yet still stay connected enough to myself and my own internal navigation system and spirit to be able to navigate, drive my chariot where I want it to go. Yeah, there's a manipulation energy that's playing out here in the field right now that I'm sensing. There's just the way I'm being shown it is this almost like wand that is creating this current behind it that then obstructs or obscures the vision properly of everyone to like a magic spell. But it's an illusion. It's not real. But there is a component, and the other thing that Spirit's pointing out is the power comes from the ability to get people to believe it. Stories can't be real until people invest in it, until there's emotion involved in it, until people buy in. And once people really buy into a story, it takes on a life of its own. And then it starts to become real in people's reality because they themselves chose to believe it. And that's why every message, discernment, this ability to go, oh, this is coming in. Wait a minute. Do I really believe this to be true? Does this really feel like I need to be having a really strong reaction to this at this time? Is the question that I'm hearing. Because we're meant to be waking up, right? This bear is about waking up and going into the light and coming out of a slumber and really paying attention, following those instincts that we have on how to begin to navigate in the world again, right? Each new seasons, like when this bear wakes up, it goes to bed in the winter and it wakes up in the spring. And so it's in a different world when it wakes back up. It has to readjust. It has to align again. It needs to be in its own power to navigate how to find food and how to orient again to the outside world. Interesting. With an element of protection of ourselves. This is that fire. This cobra is protective. It knows its power and its strength, and it can operate from a place that it doesn't have to attack, I'm hearing, or bite or whatever. It can simply stand up and be strong in its presence, and 99% of the time whatever was threatening it will go away, because it doesn't want to mess with it. Its energy is strong enough and fierce enough just in its own presence. This is about presence. Okay, so this is about presence. Having a really strong presence in yourself and confidence in yourself, right? This snake knows it doesn't have to run away. If something's bothering it enough, it just stands up and shows its neck and makes it clear, hey, you mess with me, you're messing with something that can hurt you, essentially, and therefore it moves away. It holds its own power. And this lizard's about soaking up the sun, about when we stay in our own power, when we wake up to the power within us. Okay, so I get what the message is. When we wake up, really wake up to the power we hold within us, to be able to hold a stance, hold our line, I'm hearing. Refuse this like illusion to come through. We stay in our power. And when we stay in our power, we're able to soak up the sun. We're able to absorb the beauty of this world, regardless of the perception that's being presented to us. If we are connected enough to ourselves, spirit within us, and to the outside world around us in terms of like Mother Nature, we can always be able to tap into this beautiful underneath energy of this love that is present in everything around us. This lizard knows that, and it's cold-blooded, right? So it needs that heat. It needs to lay out in the sun. We all do. We all need to lay out in the sun. It is what helps us to fuel our fire. It is what helps us to warm our soul. It's what helps us to regenerate our soul spark energy and ensure that we are at a capacity where we are able to move through the desert or any conditions that are presented to us in the outside world, knowing that we have the resources within us already to carry us through even our darkest days or our, the most barren environments. We have it within us and is always there. This camel does not fear the the desert. It knows it can move through the desert with ease because it brings everything it needs within it. And so that's a really big message in this whole thing, that it doesn't even matter what the game is. It doesn't even matter what the illusion is outside that's being presented to us. If we refuse to buy into the story to the point that it decapitates us. Really? Is that the right word? No, incapacity. What is this word? Essentially, the word like paralyzes, makes it so that we can't move. As long as when we feel this energy creeping up, know that we can harness it and the energy of spirit to find that courage to rein in that fear. It is real. Like, some things we do need to be scared of in the outside world. But just because we are scared of something or we feel fear towards something doesn't have to dictate our actions from that point. If we are in our power, then we will be able to move through it with ease. If we are not, then we start operating from a place where we give our power away and ultimately put ourselves in danger because we don't know better. This knows better. Okay, I'm feeling fear. Whoa, don't fight or flight. Take a second, ground a little, get centered, and then decide what is the best course of action. We can be wise We can be wise. We are actually tapped into a line. Our ancestors, all of us, all connect back to the same line of humanness, that we've been through experiences like this many times before. So there's wisdom there, and there's wisdom that we don't have to gain in this lifetime, that is available to us to tap into, that says, hey, we don't have to believe this. We can see it, we can acknowledge its existence, but we don't have to believe what the outcome is supposed to be. We can hold a different vision, we can hold a different stance, and we can just hold that stance. That's the other thing about this guy. We can just hold that stance versus fighting or running away, right? This doesn't run, it doesn't fight, it doesn't choose to fight first, and it doesn't choose to run away. It chooses to stand up strong and hold steady and see what happens next. That's the energy that we as a collective are embodying more and more, of this idea of like, no, you don't get to play with my emotions. You might be throwing these stories at me 24/7, almost literally. I get to decide how I react to them. And when I do have a reaction to them, which is important, I know it's telling me something. It tells me that I'm giving my power away in some way, and I need to find my courage within myself to face that fear and hold steady anyways. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because there's a gentleness to this that is being acknowledged by spirit. When we want to fight or flight, nothing soothes it better than a sense of grace to ourselves. It's okay that we feel fear. It's okay that we even get caught up in the story sometimes. Like, whoa, 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 wait. That's okay. I can feel my mind is spinning. How can I soothe my soul? How can I soothe these thoughts? How can I bring myself back into me and my grounded sense of self before I move forward, or before I decide what to do? There's this element of grace, of kindness to yourself. And I'm getting the picture of a baby deer, how it knows how to hide for a minute, camouflage almost, stay protected no matter the urge to fight or flight. It doesn't just get up and run if it knows there's danger around. It holds steady. Oh, interesting. It holds steady in faith that it will be saved either by its mother or by the fact that the predator can't find it. It's faith. Huh, interesting. Ah, which is the ultimate wisdom. The ultimate wisdom is the fact that we don't have to react. We can navigate these times regardless of what the wolf says. I'm hearing. We can navigate these times with our own ease if we are aware enough of ourselves to integrate and appreciate how we're feeling, and essentially chariot it, bring it back to balance. So if we're a little like too much into, okay, spirit's just going to save us from everything and we don't have to do anything, then like that fear is good, where it's just like, okay, but maybe we do need to make some decisions here. Maybe we do have to change a few things or make some different choices in the practical real world. Even if we know we're safe and secure, maybe saving a little bit more might be in our best interest at these times, right? It's recognizing the fear. It serves us. It's there for us. It's a part of our human. We've had a lot of human experiences. Our ancestor line has a lot of experiences, and that's why fear is prominent. We've been through a lot as a collective over time, for sure. And there's a repetitiveness to it. And so we're finally transcending that through our ability to not be caught in the illusion, through our ability to hold steady, through our ability to not move when we don't know, or not move when we don't know what to do, like resist the urge to fight or flight, right? Because 9 times out of 10, that's the worst thing to do, depending on the creature, I guess. But holding our ground is actually one of the most powerful things we can do in any circumstance. And holding our ground comes from a really solid foundation in ourselves. To just hold our ground, to not let our emotions and thoughts be manipulated. Because that's the ultimate way to win. What time is it, Mr. Wolf? Is to not get caught up in the emotions of, oh my gosh, are they going to catch me? Oh my goodness. Ah. It's when you're being wise and strategic. It's when you already know it's a game. And therefore, you know that you hold the power to decide how to operate in the game. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so what is the final kind of advice or cards here, Spirit? Okay. So embrace the in between, right? Because that's basically where we are in time right now. We're in an in between. We're in a place that I think we're ready to be out of. But it can also, it's not just about us as individuals. It is a collective. It could appear to be worse before it gets better. And so it's embracing that space in between where it's not what we want it to be, but it's also not what it's projected to be. We understand that we are the place in between, and the only thing we need to do in it is just tend to the small things. Just keep on keeping on, keep focused, keep tending. And these small things are you, right? Look how sweet this is. This mouse always brings such a sense of joy to me. And the colors, it's like the small things are the things that bring you joy, bring you light, bring you a sense of internal glow. Those are the things to tend to right now, and trust that this in between will pass, right? It does always pass. And our ability to not get caught in one extreme or another, right? Fight or flight, or fear, or, extreme hope, right? Hope is fleeting, right? Faith is what is in the center of both those things. Faith is the knowing that there's something far greater to all of this than we can even comprehend from our human and even our spirit perspective. We are just meant to hold steady in ourselves, anchor into who we are, and refuse to play the game. And as that happens, the game itself can't be played, right? If everybody stands in the line and like, I don't want to be eaten by the wolf, no, I'm not taking any steps. Right? Like the game can't be played at all. So there's some power in ourselves that we are going to be recognizing, and that power is connected to one another. And we simply just need to operate within ourselves in a way that is operating for our greatest good. And by doing so, we bring a new level of energy to things that then carries more light, so that these dark illusions can't be spread. Right? Thought forms can spread just the same as anything else. And those thought forms can spread, and as it spreads, I'm seeing these thoughts mixed with emotion, right? That's the point. If it can trigger emotion, if it can trigger something in you, then it's in, right? It's inside. And the more it's in, it can permeate and mutate and become a 9 of swords. So the point is to recognize it when it's trying to come in, and discern. And if it actually gets in, and you can feel yourself feeling emotion about it, that's when it's really important to recenter yourself, bring things back into alignment, really use some soul soothing energy to really combat that emotion, take the energy out of it, refuse to give in to any illusion that you realize will not serve your greatest good if it becomes your reality, right? Because it's a thought form. When it's the air. Once it gets in and air mixes with water, it becomes more physical. It takes on a physical form, and that water then rains down, it permeates, it penetrates the earth, and slowly and surely, as that gets into the earth, it becomes a part of the foundation. It becomes more real, and the more real it becomes, the more real it will be, because ultimately we are creators. And so being conscious of our creative abilities, and being conscious of the stories we tell, and the thoughts we choose to believe about now and in the future, we can resonate a different frequency regardless of the illusion coming forth. So I'm getting it as a lower frequency, right? It's dark, and if it permeates, and it's interesting. I don't know if anybody's ever seen, what is that? What is this movie you're showing me right now? Oh, something with Guardians. Oh, Rise of the Guardians. Rise, is that yes? Okay, so that's the movie. So what? Okay, so I'm being shown the scene at the end where it feels like we're losing, like the fear is taking over, and you can see there's this planet, or I don't even know if that's what it was, a planet. Basically, it's the planet, and there's black sort of taking it over, and it's representing the fear, but there's these lights that are left, and those lights, if they can't be put out, they hold the power ultimately. and those lights have the ability to grow or turn back on, and essentially the light causes the dark to go away, right? We know that. And there's, at the very end, there's a boy who, it's coming at him, and I forget what he says, but it's like he's in that fear, but just because he's in that fear, it's not going to stop him from standing his ground. And because he can stand his ground, courage, because he had that courage to stand his ground against that fear, it had to dissipate, because ultimately he was more powerful. And I'm meant to leave it at that. We are more powerful always. It is our reclaiming of that power and our ability to stand in it that is why we will always be successful ultimately in the end of this, right? We will win if we are in the light. And that's what's most important. So, regardless of the wolf, stay in the light, hold your ground, and refuse to give in to the illusions and the emotion it tries to create in you. It's not yours. And you hold the power to decide what you feel ultimately. And all of my messages seem to be coming down to that same idea of like, we are the deciders. We get to decide how we feel and what we feel. And if we take that power back, we can't be manipulated. And that's a really powerful thing. Okay, wow, very cool, interesting message. If you out there have a topic, a question, something that you want to throw out to Spirit, and we'll just see what happens, feel free to put it down in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let's keep this up. This is fun. And the messages are getting really clear, and I like that they're all kind of going together, and I feel the momentum of how this is playing out. So I like it. So let's keep it going. Spread it. Let's be powerful together, and have a nice day.